pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing I have on the agenda is the approval of minutes for December 1st, 2022. Are there any amendments?
Yes, there's just a few, few typos. So where the heading says presentation, I believe it's page 5, is E911, it just says E91. And the page that begins with bonding obligation 7, it's just of reimbursement, just a space is missing there. Number 7, Bob Berner, Director, Jefferson County Emergency Services.
Are there any more amendments?
And then I have under just a small typo under new business number 10, I've got 2 misses in front of my name.
Any more amendments? Hearing none, and with those changes, and there's no objection, those are approved. Next is approval of minutes for December 5th, 2022. Are there any amendments? Hearing none, if there's no objection, those are approved. Next is approval of requisitions for December 15th, 2022, in the amount of $66,326.03. There's no objection, that is approved. Next is approval of accounts payable for December 8th, 2022, in the amount of $356,738.81. There's no objection, that is approved. Next, accounts payable for December 15th, 2022, in the amount of $138,421.27. There's no objection, that is approved. Next is approval of manual checks for December 9th, 2022, and of $10,716.90. There's no objection, that is approved. Next is approval of manual checks for December 16th, 2022, in the amount of $280,934.01. There's no objection, that's approved. Next is approval of payroll for December 9th, 2022, and of $301,765.86. There's no objection, that's approved. Are there any announcements or changes to the agenda?
No.
All right, with that, go ahead and open up public comment. Remind everyone you have 3 minutes. If you're online, please raise your hand. And we'll start in the room. And the first name I have a list is Barbara Fuller.
Good evening. My name is Barbara Fuller, and I am a resident of Jefferson County. In the era of social media, I can't even do online schooling without people calling me and saying, Fuller, where are you? Why are you not commenting? So they directed me to certain posts that were posted, and I'm astounded. I'm looking at the transparency of Jefferson County, and I'm absolutely disgusted. I don't understand why anybody would think that a commission office would need a $2,000 love seat. It's from my understanding that there is already one in there. I'm looking at the post from Commissioner Jackson regarding putting notices on hold, and then there is a lovely agenda item that says that we're going to vote for it. Now, it's my opinion or my understanding that something like that is illegal to do, that if a commissioner puts a check or a pay request on hold, basically you can't override her. But I guess that would be up to legal to decide. It's my understanding that, Mr. Nissel, you are not acting in the best interest of the people of Jefferson County. Since you have taken seat, I have been here more times than I really would like to be, because I have to speak out, because I'm seeing Jefferson County go in a direction that I don't want it to go into. And I'm not alone. There's a lot of people that do not like what we see. However, not everybody has the time to come out and speak on it. I think that it would be in everybody's best interest is to actually listen to what the people of Jefferson County are asking, and to to do what they think that you should. And the other thing that literally, as I was on my way over here, someone said to me, hey, did you know that they had a replacement for Jane Tabb when when her election time is up? So my response to that is that if you think that some crony from the JDCA is going to be put on the county commission, that you are sadly mistaken. We are going to make sure that we pick people who are going to serve the needs of Jefferson County.
Next item on the list is Jackie Shable.
Good evening, Commissioners. How are you doing, John? Claire? Commissioner Ash, I should say. Commissioner Jackson. This is your last commission meeting, correct? Best wishes to you.
Thank you.
And the baby. Hi, Steve. Commissioner Salver. Commissioner Tad. I'm here because I'm upset that there's some misinformation going around. I sent myself or one of my employees sent information to each of you pertaining to a topic on the agenda. The misinformation that is being spread is that I've told each of you how to vote. And that misinformation came from Commissioner Salver. And I do not appreciate that. I'm providing information so that each of the commissioners can make an educated decision. I never, ever, or my employees have never told you all how to vote. And I do not appreciate that. It's putting one elected against another. Uncalled for.
Next item on the list is Mr. David Tad.
David Tabb, lifelong resident, taxpayer. I'm still looking for the $58 million from the transfer of FY 22 to 23. Maybe the BHM CPA Group Incorporated, which you have made your new CPA for FY 23, can help me find and determine whether this is factual, fiction, or whose account it is in. J.B. McCuskey, our state auditor, at the audit release, it was in June, mid-year, in part stated that if capital improvements are stated and put in to the budget of a particular group, then that's where it needs to stay. Maybe the CPA group can find out if that occurred or not. McCuskey already told you that has to stay there. So, and I've heard rumors that these departments, if you don't use it, you lose it. If I find the $58 million, I'll request the public to receive the $58 million paid in taxes, because if you don't use it, you lose it. So it should come back to the people. I'm staying in y'all's pocket. Within the agenda pack, there appears to be a ghost appearance of a request for a release for $200,000 for a performance bond for Potomac Edison, Sleepy Hollow telecommunications tower. There's no agenda. There's no structure. It's just a letter. So what are y'all going to do? Take that up in executive session and release $200,000? Are you? This type of matter makes the public wonder about the integrity of this county commission. Presentation 3, Mr. Jarvis, 2% raise for the ag coordinator. He was just hired in July. Did he get a COLA package as eligible? No documents say what he already received. The other question, here or live, is it budget neutral? Number 5, on the emergency communications. I was under the understanding the county has already paid millions of dollars in upgrades. Who's overseeing this need for additional software? Who approved it? Did the communication board do it? Were there any bids? Don't see any. The security tools. Again, another issue. This is agenda 6. Asking for more money. Don't see any bids. How do you justify this additional money for IT and GIS? New business. After looking over the agenda form, I also see that another request has been submitted. Who's going to present it? What is it for? Is it for a love seat and chairs for the cost of $4,400 SS.51?
Mr. Tab, please wrap up your comments.
It reminds me of another issue that happened at the Supreme Court. Two judges.
Mr. Tab, please wrap up your comments.
And 2 others were put in jail. Y'all have a nice day.
Is anyone online raise their hands?
Mr. Castro? Mr. Castro? He's talking to you right now.
Okay.
We have Stacy Todd. Can you hear us? So weird. It's so weird.
Okay.
Can you send anything on chat? I don't know. I don't know how to run that.
While we're waiting, is there anyone else in person that'd like to make public comment? Did you guys want to go ahead and go to Angie and we can circle back?
Yeah, if they come online, yeah.
Ms. Banks, are you online? I don't see her.
Angie?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have 3 exonerations. The first one is in our 2022 personal property book Middle District. The lease company did not lease the 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee July 1st, 2021. Assessed value $13,700, tax amount $326.50. The applicant is CCAP Auto Lease Ltd, ticket number 313483.
Move to approve ticket number 313483.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The second one is in our 2022 personal property book, Cabletown District. The taxpayer reported a 2018 Nissan Rogue, but it was traded in before July 1st, 2021. Assessed value $8,000, tax amount $190.66. The applicant is Ellen Lewis, ticket number 310468.
Move to approve ticket number 310468.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
This last one is in our 2022 personal property book, Middle District. Taxpayer did not own the 2007 Nissan Altima July 1st, 2021. Assessed value is $1,200. Tax amount $28.60. Applicant is Jason Fowler. Ticket number 312053.
I move to approve ticket number 312053.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
You too. With that, can we circle back to, is Mr. Casto able to talk to us?
Jim responded.
Okay, Vince. I'll call Stacy. She's there.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Great, thank you. I have 3 minutes to speak to you and get my point across. This meeting may last 3 hours with a wide range of topics from numerous departments, and I have to fit my comments on everything into 3 minutes. I can only wonder if I clearly presented the information for you to understand it. You will not respond nor ask questions or interact with me, and then move on to the next topic. The county is preparing to begin a 2-year project of updating the comprehensive plan. At this week's Planning Commission meeting, as the initial discussions began relating to the process and timeline, a decision was made that the citizens committees and the agricultural forums were not needed. During the last plan update, a citizen-based steering committee and a technical advisory committee were integral to the plan's development. The inclusion of public input was prioritized throughout the entire process. I'm concerned to hear that the planning commissioners make light of the process, including citizen participation, such as eliminating the committee and suggesting that there's no problem with the planning commission acting in lieu of a diverse representation of the community. When the community has this opportunity to provide meaningful input and have a dialogue with you, this increases transparency and therefore the trust and satisfaction in the end product. For 3 years, the Planning Commission tried to create a solar energy facilities amendment, and they only included developers and landowners directly involved. The general public was not engaged in the process, and now numerous lawsuits have since evolved. The Planning Commission removed public comment from their regular meetings, and instead of embracing technology such as this remote software, they won't allow comments over remote connections. They stated if they oversee the update process of the comp plan, notice will be given about meetings and the public can watch and give this 3-minute comment. As a member of the community, the Planning Commission is not instilling confidence that they'll listen to and develop recommendations representing the entire community. Many components go into the comp plan related to historical resources, agriculture, parks and rec, public safety, transportation, economic development, and natural resources. And the list of these major goals and objectives, it's long, and the county should rely on a diverse cross-section of residents for input, not just the Planning Commission who focuses on land use and development decisions. I hope that this county commission considers implementing a citizens committee that can assist in the comp plan update, that will give us the confidence that our voices are heard and that all the aspects that the plan covers are encompassed in those revisions as the project continues. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. With that, I'll go ahead and close public comment. Mr. Casto did send in a letter for the public record, so I assume he talked about the same things. With that, I'll move to agenda item number 2. That's Mr. Tom Henson, the sheriff.
Good evening, commissioners.
Evening.
How's everybody today?
A little chilly.
Yeah. Okay. First item on my list is what I came in front of you with last meeting, the 300 hours for the county, for the sheriff's office. It was 300 hours. It's changed just prior to my taking office to 240. My deputies, I had my executives to send you spreadsheet today which shows you the deputies that are in jeopardy of losing hours. And I don't think that extending the time is going to cause the same problem next year at this time. I understand that Madam Clerk's assistant sent some things forward to you all that show that it may or may not require be an 8-hour day as opposed to the 10-hour day that my deputies work or the 12-hour day that they worked prior to my taking office. My lieutenant here accrues two days of leave a month, 24 days. I have deputies that, and my lieutenant can attest because he does the schedule of deputies coming to him saying, I'd like to take some time off and look at the schedule. So I'm sorry, you can't do that because we're short manpower. I require there to be 3 men on a shift to protect this county. And that's the minimum that we can have. And Mr. Nissel can tell you that 3 men for one county is very few, but they're working their rear ends off. And I'm looking for the support of the commission to allow them to keep their leave without losing it, making it up to 300 hours. If they won't do that, I'm going to ask that the county commission start a policy where if they're going to lose leave at the end of the year and they were not able to take leave because of manpower shortages, that you pay them for the leave that they have over the 240 hours. I have some deputies that are close to it, some even taking leave through to the end of the year to try to get under 240, but it's a tough job when we don't have the manpower on the streets. As you know, last week, we're 4 men, last time I meeting, we had 4 men short. I have 1 man who's been out on workers' comp since last February. I have 1 man that had nerve damage repaired. He's on light duty. I have a deputy that is pregnant. She's on light duty. And I have 1 that's on active duty. So if you take 8 people out of my department, I'm down to scrap. I have lieutenants that are now working shift instead of their Monday through Friday shifts. They're working They're going to be working Sunday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Saturday, just like the patrols. I have sergeants that here. These gentlemen are wearing beards. The reason why they have beards is because these gentlemen here raised over $5,000 for the Child Advocacy Center through No Shave November. It shows you how much they care about the county and they care about the community. And I'm asking for you to support them and either make it 300 hours or pay them for anything they can't use.
I guess my question, Nathan, that you're going to do some research. So you find out.
Yeah. There are some issues here that raise potential liability for the county. And because of that, I would recommend that we go into executive session, maybe keep the sheriff with us. But I need to tell you some things that about these issues that could create potential liability for the county. I will say that I think the code is pretty clear that the county has the authority to develop sick leave and vacation policies and procedures. West Virginia Code 7521 says the county commission, I'm skipping a few words, is hereby authorized to grant county employees annual and sick leave benefits. I think if you have the power to grant them, you have the power to control them. The sheriff obviously has his own authority about numerous things. He certainly has the authority to schedule deputies and give them their work orders and all of those things. But as far as policy, I believe that is within the county's purview, the county's authority. I can proceed if you want, but I just have that. I think there's a couple of issues related to liability that you should be aware of.
Okay. Yeah. Would you want to go in executive session now? You wait till the end of the meeting?
That would be up to you.
I'll answer Chairman's.
I was gonna ask, did you want to go over the new hire and stuff? And then we can
I'll go through the rest of that. The second kind I have is that the county's holiday policy is for Monday through Friday weekends off people. And you all know that. Christmases and New Year's Day are going to be celebrated on the Monday. I'm going to have deputies. I'm quite sure Mr. Polzinski will have dispatchers, and I'm quite sure ESA will have medics out on Christmas Day. And I think it's ludicrous if they work Christmas Day but don't work the day after, they're not going to get the holiday pay for working it. And this was all brought about by my predecessor, Commissioner Tam may remember the same thing happened under Sheriff Hoover. And what the commission did was either Christmas Day or the Monday, you get one or the other, but not both. And I think it's only fair that if you work Christmas Day, that you get paid for the holiday on Christmas Day, not on the Monday. And again, as you know, your schedule is for Monday through Friday weekend off people, and my people are 24/7, 365.
What's the leader of the commission? Because I tend to agree with the sentiment.
So can you, just one more, so you're,
They're saying if they work Christmas Day, they should get paid for it on Christmas Day. If they're off, and if they work the Monday as the holiday, then they get paid. But the point is, they don't get paid for both. But they should, if they're working Christmas Day, they should get paid for Christmas Day. If they're working New Year's Day, they should get paid for New Year's Day. And like I said, it only happens once every 7 or 8 years. But it, again, happened under Sheriff Hoover, and that was how the county commission rectified it then. You pay for one or the other, but not both.
And you're asking for holiday pay?
Yes,
Christmas.
holiday pay for my deputies that work on Christmas Day.
Like Christmas is Sunday this year, and that counts, close Monday, so I think that's.
Mr. Cochran, is that within our authority?
I would think so.
I would think so too. I just want to make sure.
It's probably more of a coding issue in the Tyler system.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
separated out.
Yes.
If we can do that, I'd have no
Yeah.
problem.
I'm fine adjusting them.
I'll move to adjust that the deputies, deputies are emergency services? How's ESA do it? Well, we probably can.
I don't know how ESA is doing it. And you could say emergency services, dispatching, law enforcement, and medical.
Here's Jeff.
I think it's already written policy. I think, and that's how we applied it for 20.
Yeah, I know, but
It's, if a dispatcher or, public safety member works during an actual holiday, they can either take the holiday pay or take time off in lieu of the holiday on another time, and we bank it in what's called their holiday bank. So I don't know if you have a holiday bank.
no, we don't have, yeah.
We do have a
We
holiday.
have a holiday bank, yes, we do, but
So
I think more concerned with that, yeah, like I said, the deputies that work on Christmas Day, they're going, wait a minute, it's not the Monday. So,
And then again, too, if it was a Sunday and a Monday combination of the holiday, then it's equal to what you give off an employee. If you give off an employee for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, 8 hours and 4 hours, then the equal amount would apply to Department 7 and 12. And I think that would apply for you guys as well. But I think that's already in policy.
I didn't see that, but I just wanted to bring it forward. If it's already policy, that's fine, but I don't, it should be just a drop down then on payroll. But I don't think Lieutenant Holtz has seen that, so that's why I brought it up.
I think it's just a matter of assigning those pay codes to those deputies on the day that they actually work instead of, I think we could
It's
work
not a
that out.
policy change.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it doesn't need a motion, then thank you. We'll just move forward. The last item I have about holiday pay is I have, and this saves the county money, so I'm going to bring it up that way. On Thanksgiving Day, I had a trip for mental hygiene, and we had, to give you an idea, we have an increase of almost double the mental hygiene transports this year compared to last year. And they're going all over the state. Had a full-time and a part-time bailiff, trip guard, go to, I think, Bluemont, could have been Huntington, I don't know where. It was a 13.5-hour trip, which is not unusual for my deputies and my trip guards, not unusual at all. The full-time got holiday pay, time and a half plus the holiday. The part-timer got straight time. And it used to be, I used to be able to, there was drop downs, there were codes that I could use to give him special money because of this. And the new the finance director's predecessor did away with all those codes. And I think it's only fair that if my trip guard part-time is going to take a trip 13, 14, sometimes 17 hours on a holiday, that I should be able to give them some extra money. Fair and equitable. I'm not asking for them, and it only happens once in a while. But we got 13, 14 holidays a year. It can only happen once in a while, but the point is that it's only fair and equitable that we allow, that I, as the sheriff, can authorize that part-time deputy to get extra money that day. Not all the time, but that day.
Is that a code? Is that a, I don't know, is that a coding thing?
I said, we used to have separate pay codes that I could pay, like the bailiffs when they worked the fair, got a special amount of money when they do that, and I could do that. But the finance director's predecessor removed all those. And so because of that, I can't do that anymore. And I'm quite sure she wasn't allowed to do that because it's my budget and my codes, but she did anyway. And the point is that I'm asking that either they get put back by Mr. Nissel, or that, and so that I can authorize these part-timers when they do something special for me, that I could pay them extra money. The idea that this gentleman rode in a car for 13.5 hours on Thanksgiving Day, that he volunteered to go, and if I had to send 2 deputies, you're talking a lot of money.
Well, first of all, we only had 3 working that day.
Right.
So we couldn't send 2. But
I'm comfortable with.
I'm not really sure if we have to authorize
don't know.
anything or.
I don't think that's all, but I'm just going to ask Mr. Nissel to start looking at starting putting my special pay codes back into my budget so that I can use them.
I think our only concern would be as long as you don't go over budget.
I understand that, and if it's within my budget, I'm going to stay with. Listen, I'm going to let you know, for the first time in years, my overtime budget last year didn't go over our overtime budget, and so I'm very conscious of my budget. So believe me, but I'm got the idea that I'm going to ask Mr. Nissel and the new finance director to go back and put my special pay code back in so that I can start using them and pay these people what they deserve.
We can do that.
Thank you.
We can't do, can we do anything retroactive or, I don't want to get too down in the weeds. I don't think we could.
I'm not keen on retroactive.
No,
Moving
neither am
forward,
I. I
yeah.
just want to make
I don't
sure
think
that,
you can give retroactive.
yeah.
Are you talking about just maybe, I don't know if those codes still exist. It might be just turning them back on. And
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still in the history or whatever, but anyway.
I will try to compensate that trip guard in the near future for something. But anyway, I wanted to bring this to your attention that I have not been able to do that for a year now. Lastly, Dale Gottschalk submitted his resignation as a bailiff and a trip guard, but he wanted to remain as a trip guard, so I have to ask you all to hire him back. Allow me to hire him back again at $15 an hour to take trips, because he works for ESA and makes more money at ESA than he does for me taking trips or being a bailiff. That's why he resigned as being a bailiff.
I moved to approve the hire Dale Gottschalk as a part-time trip guard at an hourly rate of $15 an hour.
Second.
Do we need a start date? Would it just be immediate?
The immediate start date can be immediate since he's part-time.
Okay, yeah. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion carries.
Did you finish voting, right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I was distracted for a second. I'm thinking through how I can approach this, and I think I can just go ahead and do it. His first request, if you want to just hear what I have to say right now.
Yeah.
Okay, first, again, what I said, I think we have the authority to make those decisions. Our current policy, I believe, is 240 hours. And I think that's based on 8-hour days. And so when you multiply 30 days times 8, you get 240. Now, I think lawyers are people that would have been doctors, but they couldn't do math. Seriously, so our current policy is based on an 8-hour day. The actual term of day does not seem to be defined in this context in code. I will say that 8 hours seems to be the standard number for a variety of things. I think PERS counts 8 hours. I think the state government counts 8 hours as a day. I think there's some aspects of workers' comp that counts 8 hours as a day. So that seems to be the standard number in a variety of circumstances. And there are issues that arise based on days and time off, which, would include sick pay, would include other things like that. That there may be ramifications if that's changed. But beyond that, that's all I have to say. I think it's your authority, and you just have to determine what you want to do.
So I have a question. So you're accruing your time off at a day of 8 hours,
Correct.
but you work a 10-hour day.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you take a day off, you're deducted 10 hours.
Correct.
And their vacation is set in code. It's a day and a quarter, day and a half, day and 3/4, day and it's 2 days by code. The sick leave is a day and a half from the get-go. First 5 years, day and a quarter, and on through.
Well, Chair Kingston, I obviously understand why you're very passionate about this. And I guess where I'm kind of thinking and at is that it is kind of a gray area that it says 30 days and some people may say days is 8 hours, but it does say days. So I almost feel like it gives us that flexibility. So my question would be, I guess, to Nathan is, if we did grant the 30 days to mean 10 hours, you said there'd be possible, like, what could go wrong if we did that? Because if we're to make an exception, for me, it'd be for the sheriff's office and for your.
And when we get into what could go wrong, that's where I think it would be advisable to address that issue in executive session, simply because I feel like it's unwise to point out all the possible ways that you can be sued in open session. And that was the only purpose for going into executive session, is that. Yes.
I just don't want them to lose their time, one way or the other, either fiscally by you allowing them to be paid for it at the end of the calendar year, because we're the only ones that go, my deputy's the only one that go a calendar year, everything else is your fiscal year. So we're coming up now to 16 days, and I just don't want them to lose their time.
And I think it, just to point out too, and anyone's welcome to take a look at them, but if you look at our schedules, if one person takes off, people are working over. Sergeant Conway today is working a 14-hour shift for coverage. Myself, I'm working a 12-hour shift for coverage. That's due to people trying to use their leave. So I don't think it's that we're trying to bank leave, and we're not trying to, we want to use our leave, but when currently we're down 8 people in our department, and administrative people are filling in for patrol, so our other duties are kind of falling to the wayside. I don't know what the liabilities are that Nathan's talking about, but I think, we with our current staffing level, we're just at a crisis point where there's gonna be people that lose leave. I've lost leave in the past, but this year it just seems like it's difficult to take off.
So if I could weigh in just real quick, I think, I agree with the sheriff. I don't want anybody to lose leave because you've earned it, it's yours, right?
Yeah.
You really earned it, it's your leave, so you should be able to take it. And you may want, if I can just make a couple of suggestions, you may want to allow them to continue to carry these over and defer this till after we work through with the budget process, because we know a little bit more about what the fiscal impact is going to be. It gives us a little bit more time, and then they don't lose leave in 16 days, right? The other thing, and we talked a little bit about this last time, is if you do agree that 300 hours is the magic number, and anytime it would go over 300 or the prescribed hours, you may well consider moving those hours to their sick leave. That way, they don't lose those, it just moves to sick leave. It doesn't cost you any money to move to sick leave. Sick leave at the end of the day, once you retire, goes towards time in.
It goes either it can be used for purchasing healthcare if they don't have healthcare on their retirement, or it can be added to their time in service. As and you get 1 day, you get 2 days for every day in sick leave.
Right. So, and given the fact that sick leave is, a work day is loosely defined in the code. It really doesn't say universally, everybody would say, 8 hours is a day. But I get it. You work 10 hours, so I completely understand that. So that's just some suggestions that you may want to look into, because I fear that in 16 days, deputies are going to lose their leave. I think we need to address that. We need to see that being done.
Or if you do that, or extend it and just this year, allow them to get paid for it, and then we work on it through next year. Just, I'm adamant, I don't want my men and women to lose their leave. I want them to be able to use it or get paid for it, one or the other.
Yeah, I don't mind extending it. Might be the best thing to do here. I feel like we were kind of pinched in
I'm sorry about that, but it came to light last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, because I certainly don't want to see them lose their leave either. And then,
And I would note that the county commission did that before. And I think a lot of these issues are still related to code.
Yeah.
Because I think all these folks who do work very hard, we're all pinched up in COVID. And there's just a lot of issues there. And so this is still really a continuation of the COVID issue as far as I'm concerned.
Sure, no doubt. When would be a fair time to extend it to?
I'll acquiesce to my lieutenant who's in charge of scheduling.
Yeah.
What are we saying here? So let's say I'm over 10 hours, I'm at 250 at the end of the year. I'd have to get under 240 by a certain time period. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, we would move the end of the year date. So December 30th, 31st, we would move it to, say, out 3 to 6 months. So you're not at a pinch point right now to try to.
I understand what you're saying, sir. I'm how would we determine if someone used that? I mean, what would we be required to be under in 6 months from now? Because they're also accruing leave, there are no 6 months. I just want to be clear, whatever is voted upon.
I think, if I may suggest something, that what they have accrued through the end of this year, they have to use within 3 months. I don't know if it's possible with your scheduling, but that's just what I'm throwing out here, in the next 3 months. But they, and what they're accruing, you put in the next year, you put on the end of their total. You let them accrue too, while they're using up what's left over from this year.
Yes, ma'am. So if I understand correctly, if there's a deputy that's over 20 hours, so based on the current policy, so if they had 260 hours on January 1st, that by March 31st, they would have to use 20 hours of leave, even though they're still going to be over that 240 at that point from the accrued leave. Is that correct? Is that the motion, or not the motion, but the
kind of thought process? We're like, you want to move it out 3 months or 6 months just to get some more time, so we're not at a pinch point right here at the end.
Well,
I
and
think Lieutenant Holmes is saying is that
I don't need,
if beyond January 1, you're still accruing. We never want you to stop accruing.
yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
And so by the time you get to, let's say March 31st, we'll just cherry pick a number here. They're probably going to have, then again, over 240 by the time it gets to that. So I think in that 3-month period, this body can then make a decision whether you want to bump that up to 300 hours or how you want to work that. And we have an opportunity to look at what the numbers look like if you were to do a payout, right? And then you have the time to decide whether you in fact wanted to convert that to sick leave, if that was an option for the officer.
I don't know if that's an option by code, but
We
you know, I
think
guess.
it is.
Okay.
We're digging in, we think that that's a possibility.
Okay,
So,
and sick leave is forever. Sick leave, there is no time use of it.
Correct.
yeah, and I guess I just want to extend it a little bit so you don't, the guys don't lose their time until we figure out some more options. That's what my point is.
right, I'm just making sure we're not saying that anyone that's over now would have to be under 240 at the end of March. It would just be under the hours that they would use, that they have over.
Yeah, so if they're at 280, they would still carry that till March. They won't lose anything until the end of March to maybe look at some more options.
So you're saying that if you have 260 hours at the end of the year, they have 3 months to use the 20 hours, not 3 hours. Okay, not to get back under 240.
Yes, sir.
That's
Okay.
It's carryover.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was just looking at this use or lose column in this one chart, and that's what I thought, if they use that up within the first 3 months of the next year, they're still accruing, but.
I think I would be in
used up.
favor of that, because I am interested to know more about the sick
Mhm.
policy. Because
Yeah, I know.
it's
Yeah.
just tough with code saying 30 days, and
Yeah.
it should say, should be an hour.
And it might be a question, I don't know, which do we do this very much, ask Attorney General's opinion on something like this, if they dealt with this in the state, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because
Uh,
I'll explain
We've been looking at this issue, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, most of our employees work 8 hours, you all work 10, some work 12 at dispatch and 16. And then our ESA guys, they work 24, so you can't, say, time 24 times 30. You have to, so that's what
I know there was a recent court decision in Montague County and Berkeley County about firemen on holiday pay is they get paid, if they have 24 hours, they get 24 hours of holiday pay. So I know there have been some court decisions about shift work and things like that. So if let's do that. Let's go to March.
Okay.
And that gives you guys, and I can work with Mr. Nissel and Nathan and sit down and figure out what we can do so this doesn't happen every year.
Sure.
And hopefully I'll be able to add some more people, bring some people back from sick leave and things like that, and go from there. But right now we're at a minimum, and nobody's been able to take leave, or they're taking leave only because my command staff is taking off, because they're the ones that my chief deputy is, I think, going to end up having to lose 39 hours. I don't want that to happen.
I would recommend you take that to the end of March.
March
From a
31st.
budget cycle standpoint, that gives you a little bit more time.
Okay.
That works for you guys.
All right, I'll move to extend the accrual cutoff for the deputies to March 31st of 2023. They good?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, commissioners. Have a good night.
Thank you.
And if I don't see you before then, Merry Christmas to everyone.
Next, I have agenda item number 3, Mr. Dennis Jarvis.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, it's really low.
Can you hear me? I've got it straight up where I'm at.
Yeah, speak a little bit louder. We can barely hear you.
We need the same system. We need to upgrade our system in our office. Can you hear me better?
Barely.
What about now?
That's a little better.
A little better.
Well, I've got well, anyway, I apologize. I do want to ask you to grant approval for the office to have the discretion to offer a 2% pay raise to Ryan Snyder, our ag coordinator. This is budget neutral. We worked with the former county finance director, Ms. Rismer, and Mr. Nissel about this item in question about a month and a half ago. This is in step with a request we made similar earlier in the year. We gave a incremental pay for our office administrative assistant after her 90-day evaluation. And Ryan, I'll be quite honest with you, candid. Ryan has developed several programs that help out the ag community. We're looking at right now developing a supply chain study for ingredients like corn, malt, barley, other items that we can connect growers in our county, growers in the region with artisan and craft spirits, not only in Jefferson County, but within the region. They help lower the carbon footprint, increase production locally and regionally, and have value added for our local growers. Also, we're looking at, for the spring, a legislative earmark request for Senators Capito and Senator Manchin to look at allowing us to establish a value-added grant initiative. And what I mean value-added is for integrators, growers, that if they need assistance on expanding operations within the county that meet certain criterion, that there would be a level of assistance or an incentive to help offset the new investment they're making. There's not other vehicles at the state, at the federal or local level for us to provide that kind of leverage. And it's being well received from the legislative delegation and the state development office currently. I say this all to you that Ryan's value is very high. Ryan's value to the community, the ag sector specifically, is wonderful. And like I said, this is budget neutral. It's the discretion of the chair. It's the discretion of the department head. In this matter, it's been budgeted, and I hope you will fully support the request.
Right.
Yeah,
I just had one question. You answered my question, that it is budget neutral.
yeah, that was my question too.
Yes,
Yeah.
so since it is budget neutral, I'll move to allow the coordinator, Brian Steiner, 2% rates following his probationary period.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all is in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you, and I apologize about the low tone, and I wish Merry Christmas to all of you all. Appreciate your support.
Yep, you too. Next I have is agenda number 4, Miss Elizabeth Wheeler.
Good evening, folks.
Good evening.
I'm here to request your approval of a purchase of an agricultural conservation easement on Mr. Lotzey's property. I'd like to introduce Mr. Lotzey, who came to witness my request to you. This is a 45-acre property at the corner of Leetown and Wiltshire Road. It's in almost 100% I'm sorry, 100% hayland. Beautiful property. Mr. Lotzey is selling the conservation easement for $200,000 with a $97,000 donation for this easement. I think that's a good bargain for the county to protect this land in perpetuity. We're ready to go with it. We've done all the background work to prepare this easement.
Yeah, I'm happy to see this in my neighborhood near Newtown. It'd be very nice land, and certainly the almost 1/3 donation makes it very appealing to us all as a bargain sale. So I'll make the motion to approve the purchase by the Jefferson County Farmland Protection Board one conservation easement on the property in Jefferson County owned by Conrad Flossie and Christina, I'll probably butcher this, Macianis. All right. And for a total cost of $200,000.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there more discussion?
Just want to say thank you for the donation.
Yeah.
Thank you for continuing that program.
I appreciate it.
Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Just to give you an update, I'm working on 1,100 acres right now. The board has committed funding for, and that our federal partners have committed funding for. So I'm still charging along at a snail's pace, but charging along on all these properties.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Liz is tenacious. All the steps you have to go through, I would get quite frustrated myself. Working with the federal government.
It's a maze sometimes to dig through that, but, you know, we review these things.
Right.
And she just does a lot of work on this.
Yeah, meticulous.
Next, I have agenda item number 5, Mr. Jeff Lister.
Apologize if this did not get into your packets. Last week was Next Generation 911. Okay, thank you. The Emergency Communications Center utilizes a structured call taking process when we receive EMS calls through the use of a software system called the Medical Priority Dispatch System, or ProQA. The system of structured call taking interrogation for EMS has been in place since 2002. This is the method of asking detailed scripted questions, receiving information and acting on it to provide pre-arrival post-dispatch instructions that sets up the scene safety, prepares the patient and the responders, and more importantly, assists the callers with instructions and actions to help the patient. One of the examples recently was you guys listened to a baby being born and CPR and saving that life. Tuesday, that audio was very important in the presentation. And what we call this is the 0-second response. This year, you budgeted funds to implement structured call taking for fire incidents, identifying coal severance funds for that project. The Fire Priority Dispatch System ProQA project implements the second of 3 core disciplines in our call taking regimen. The Communication Center further proposes to enhance the project by also implementing the third of the 3 core disciplines, combining the Fire ProQA project with law or police ProQA implementation. This will be significant cost savings to the county if it's done at this time. This specialized software suite integrates with the Spillman Motorola Solutions CAD, enhances call taking protocols. ProQA is both the software and the system of quality assurance. Along with the protocol the dispatcher uses to take calls, other staff use additional software in the suite for quality assurance, case review, medical direction, and feedback. For us, quality assurance is critical to the call taking and dispatching processes. All the counties surrounding Jefferson, all counties in Maryland, Washington, D.C. metro area have implemented and used all 3 of these disciplines. To the west, Berkeley County has recently been recognized on December 1st as what's called a triple ACE, a triple accredited center of excellence. They are an accredited center of excellence in all 3 disciplines using the standardized protocol structured from Priority Dispatch. This is an enormous feat. It is chronicled in the document, the additional document that I provided to you. So structured interrogation has become the expectation from the public. Use of the Priority Dispatch system is the standard of care for practice for emergency dispatching. And I feel we must continue pursuing implementation due to our public's expectations. Our negotiations with Priority Dispatch Corporation have come to a point where we were afforded a 17.5% discount off the original quote that we received and what was budgeted, and an additional savings of over $59,000 should we combine the project implementation of fire and police. So far this fiscal year, we've been working with the fire departments to address several issues in preparation for the implementation of the software. Our team's prepared to move rapidly on fire protocols, and we're moving that way. Putting the law protocol in place during that same cycle makes sense, and it can be accomplished by our staff. I've been working with the former finance director, had been working with the former finance director on the project prior to her departure. I have an email from her positively identifying funds in capital outlay to allocate for this project. Unfortunately, the timing with the November meetings, coupled with personal leave, prevented me from presenting this until today. So in summary, I'm requesting the commission allocate an additional $69,965 from capital outlay for the implementation of police priority dispatch, along with what we're going to already be doing in fire priority dispatch. This is a project we're going to have to do. It is going to come up, and it may come up next budget year. And doing it now will allow us to save over $59,000. I have provided you documentation information regarding the costs. So the fire priority dispatch system for the system that was budgeted was $116,862. That was approved in fiscal year 23's budget, and that was out of full severance. The police priority dispatch system would be an additional $63,965 if we combine it with this project. If the projects are done separately, police priority dispatch is $125,477 separately. That would be a total over 2 fiscal years of $239,864 versus what I have the quote for of $180,827. It's a savings of over $59,000 if we pull police in now and combine it.
I'll just say that it was pretty amazing listening to the audio on Tuesday of the dispatch calls and just what the software is able to do. Because I know split second makes a difference. And when they have it right there, walking them through the steps of CPR, like whatever the unique situation was really cool. But I would be in favor of combining just because I think that it's something we're going to have to purchase. And if we could save money now as opposed to later.
And you're confident the staff can do both at the same time? I mean, the two different systems.
The project or the staff handling it?
Well, however you're going to implement doing the two different sections of the fires and the police.
I have confidence that staff, the implementation team will be able to handle the project implementation. And I have high confidence the staff will be trained and be able to operate all parts because it's all combined. It puts EMS with law and fire together. So if it's a law call, you use a certain part of the protocol. If it's EMS, you use a certain part of the protocol. If it's a combined incident, motor vehicle accident with entrapment and injuries, you're using all parts of it all together at one point.
I'll make the motion to, well, first I want to also confirm that we have the almost 64,000 in capital outlay for this project. Additional, okay. I move to approve the additional purchase of the Priority Dispatch EPD software, call taking, and quality assurance systems. And the cost is $63,965.90, and that would come from the capital outlay fund.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Very good, thank you. And if you may indulge me, Mr. Hudson, thank you for your 6 years of service to the county, to the commission, to our departments, and also your service to the nation. Go Army.
Thank you.
And that's pretty good coming from what, a Navy man?
Allegiance to West Point.
Next tab is agenda item number 6, Mr. Russell Burgess.
And I've also asked Mr. Tom Riley, the IT consultant for the county, to assist me this evening.
Good evening. Evening.
See you. This evening, I came to talk to you about a couple of unfortunate things that have happened within the county. As you're aware, we had a cybersecurity incident on November 21st. I remember it very non-fondly because it was my birthday. So we had it on that day. That was one of the things that really kind of got to me, bothered me. But I have a little bit of a hard time talking about it. It hits pretty deep when we have something like this happen. Say it happened on the 21st, and we had 2 other incidents in neighboring counties around the same time that happened. One was, I don't believe, anywhere near what happened to us. And for us, it was a very simple one server impact. We had a hole in our firewall that an attack vector was opened up, that the attackers got in and went after the prosecuting attorney's server. It runs a program called Microsoft SQL. And that hole in the firewall allowed access to that server so that a software package could run outside of the network. We have since closed that hole, but they were able to, once they got in and take control of that server, to encrypt all the files, commonly known as ransomware. Our antivirus and anti-malware software did manage to stop it a number of times, but because of that hole, they were in and had taken control of that server, so they were able to repeatedly continue the attacks on it to try to encrypt the files. So our software would stop it, they'd try something else, their software would stop it, they'd try something else. Eventually, they did succeed. The attack started at approximately 12:50 a.m. in the morning. We received an email notification shortly after that it was detecting these, but obviously at 12:50 in the morning, we were not available. I have felt in the past that we were able internally to handle these and take care of this through the different software packages we've had. The layers of defense that we have that I've talked to you before is how we try to cut off these attack vectors and stop them. I'm not as confident of that as I used to be. And I'll give you a little bit of a background on some of this, which is why I asked Mr. Riley to come in, if he could talk a little bit about your knowledge of some of the things that have happened in neighboring areas.
So just as public record, and what I can share with you is public record of the news. So if you want to go farther than that, we can probably go to executive session and have a discussion in detail. But we had a great discussion with Washington County, which I'm not sure if anyone has read. Basically, it took their entire system down, dispatching the entire system due to ransomware. So they're on a recovery process right now. They're trying to get things back up and running, but the FBI and all the people that are involved with their incident is saying, don't pay the ransom. We're going to rebuild this thing from scratch. Fortunately, we haven't lost any records. We have good backup systems. We have a good team that's working within our IT department. Part of the discussion for today in the request for funds is really to create that preemptive process to have this be known before we get this information the next morning. Part of the request is to build a thing called the SOC, it's a Security Operations Center. And the design of that is to have a person keep an eye on the network 24/7. 1 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock in the afternoon, we have presence and a physical person that's actually monitoring the system. So we have monitoring tools that are tied to our network for sonic wall, firewall systems, all of the desktops and servers. Part of other counties' response are reactive. They're reacting to an incident that's already occurred. We're trying to be ahead of that and have that incident occur at 12:40 or 12:50 in the morning and have actually somebody actually stop the attack at that time. And we have prescribed protocols for the vendor that Mr. Rich is going to mention to you is predetermined. We've already determined what we're going to do with it. So when the IT department comes back in, we've already got some information. We already know what happened. We already know what was prevented. So our neighboring counties have been having, they have teams that they've hired after the fact through their cybersecurity insurance, and they've built
this mechanism within that tool set, but many times it's already too late. They've already had system after system fail. And our goal is to have a team already done. We've already hired them. They're already part of our team. I think they've decided on the Sophos product, which is our tier system. So we have their product today. It's basically a very advanced system, and in these procedures, we want to take it to the next step. And that next step is really to work with them on the SOC system, and we hire their team to look at our systems and monitor this. They take a huge amount of data, they break it into simple things that their operations center can read and understand, and if something does happen, they know what to do next. Maybe step one is to stop the act from happening. Step two is to email. Step three is maybe call Russell or his team in the incident. So we're building a team that's live. These people are humans on the other side of this making decisions, which is great for us because we've already told them, if this happens, do this. If that happens, do that. So it helps us in many ways to protect the assets of the county. I'm here for the technical part. I'm sure Mr. Burgess is going to ask for some money. But we've been very fortunate, and I think you guys have been so supportive of our data center improvements. I know we spent a lot of money on IT in the last 12 months, and I'm sure all of you are probably sick of us standing on the side of the table. But that said, this request is important to us because it does provide us that presence that is not there during our off hours. So I'd like to be here for any questions. Technically, I can answer them for you. I think Mr. Burgess might want to add a few things to that.
Yeah, I can say I believe that the service I'm requesting, if we had that in place on the 21st, I believe that server would not have been impacted. I believe that their security operations team would have stopped that. The software stopped it, then they tried something else. I think the security operations team in the time frame that it took place would have seen that and isolated that machine and just stopped that attack before it even succeeded. And then we would have had time to go back, do the forensic examinations of the network, the machine, the firewall, and figure out where the attack came from, how they got in, and what happened with it.
I just have one question. I see that there's obviously some stuff we need to purchase. Where will we pull this out of, John?
Be capital outlay.
Okay. Thanks.
If I can say one other thing, it was a very big eye-opening experience for us that we had this opportunity. We enlisted the FBI, the West Virginia State Police, Homeland Security, Emergency Management, MSISAC, which is one of the things that helps protect our election systems and things like this. And everybody stepped up and said, what can we do to help? Send us your logs, send us log review and examination of trying to find what happened during an attack is a very labor intensive process. And all of these organizations stepped up to help us and would read through some of these logs and go through and say, hey, I've identified something. Can you send me the log from this? Or can you send me the logs from this so we could go through and help identify this? It took a number of days before we actually identified where the hole was that they came in through. But I think that our team was exceptional in that when we got in that morning, they immediately saw the email, checked out the impacted system and shut it down. And that effectively stopped that because they only had a hole into one individual server on our network. One of our gentlemen in the IP team actually was one of the first ones to pick out the attack vector and how they came in. And Mr. Missile knows that Mr. Tyler Hammock, who was part-time with us, he was very instrumental in looking at this, but the whole IT team was great to go through this, and everybody assisted in getting these logs out and looking at this and trying to find out what happened, how we shut it down, and how we make sure. One of the main things was that there were no lateral movements across our network. And a lateral movement says, okay, if this one got infected, are they moving into others? And fortunately, that did not take place.
I can add a few things. I think one of the cybersecurity is something which we really have to take seriously. I mean, I don't know what the cost to Washington County is going to be to rebuild those systems, but it's going to be a lot of money.
Now, look at $53,000, it's a tough pill to swallow, but if we were to get hit with ransomware and we had to rebuild from the ground up, hundreds of thousands of dollars, I would suppose, and all the data that's lost and all the information that will be worming out there. And cybersecurity, I mean, there's tons of phishing attacks. You see them on your iPhones all the time. You can go to an airport, plug into a charger at the airport, and a little worm a virus through your phone, send an email to work, and they're in. So this really nets all those things that come to us. So I think it's really critical that we beef up the security so we have the assurance that we're not going to get hacked into.
Just one thing to add, maybe we want to take a short review with Nathan and review the policies we have in place and just take those back off the shelf, and maybe all of us could go back through that real closely next time or soon. Make sure we have enough coverage and make sure the response team and the response process. What I've learned from neighboring counties is usually through that policy creates the response program. We're doing this proactively, but I think that we want to take a really close look at that and make sure that we have all the things in place for the policy.
The other thing too, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we operate in many different silos here in Jefferson County. We've got the AS400, we've got Tyler, we've got a lot of different systems going. So if you can just picture many, many different silos and all the different ways that this can make its way into these different silos. So we want to make sure that we've got coverage on the back door, that, you know, these things can't get to us. Because once they get in, it's a matter of a second that they start to affect the rest of these systems. And I would hate to have that happen.
And we're a huge proponent to employee education. So one of the things that we'd like to at some point do is have employee education programs to help identify that email and find new ways to. And they can be online courses. They don't have to be, they don't have to travel. We can set them up where the courses are delivered to their desktops, and it can be a 15-minute course, a 30-minute course, and we can do things like that to help education.
We have been talking to West Virginia Corp, our insurance broker, about bringing free cybersecurity training to the staff. So we're looking at making that mandatory. The last organization I was with, we had to do 4 trainings a quarter, and it was mandatory. Everybody had to do it. And it really was a huge education piece for staff.
Yeah, it can be online, and when you set these up, it's a great.
I want to say thanks to you guys for being quick in your response. I know our IT department is probably understaffed for what you guys do and the amount of work that you do. So I want to thank you guys for being super responsive and going at this very quickly, or as quickly as you could.
It's hard when you get hit like this. I think that we, as a team, take it personally. That,
It's like getting your purse stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too soon for that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So, and I would be interested in looking at our policies and what's permissible and what's not, and that sort of thing on county issued equipment and
Right.
our programs and stuff.
It's a good time to take a look at that.
Yes.
I don't have any further questions. I'll be ready to make the motion. If anybody, screen that good one. I'll move a motion to purchase the MDR management detection and response, NDR, the network detection and response with firewall integration in the amount of $52,304.66. This money will be pulled from our capital outlay fund.
So moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all. And I want to take one moment and just say thank you, Mr. Thomas Riley, our information technology consultant for the county. He's been exceptional. He's always here for us 24/7. And I want to say thank you very much.
Thank you. Next I have is agenda item number 7, but I don't see Roger.
Well, we got Roger staff here.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm doing the first phase. We have a request for a partial release of the bond for Rocky Ridge subdivision. It's for Townhouse Rental LLC. Mr. Kent and Roger have reviewed this and they've determined that $1,632,904 can be released from that bond. And we're still holding after that about $1.5 million for the remaining improvements for that phase.
I'll move to release a partial release of $1,632,904 from the construction bond for Townhouses Rental LLC, Rocky Ridge subdivision phase 1, lots 1 through 3, 61 through 132, commercial lot A and residue, futures phase 1 and 3, file number 19-77-SB.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The second request is for a complete bond release for the Sleepy Hollow telecommunication tower, which will function solely for the Potomac Edison substation for communication between their substations. They posted the bond and then it was determined that they're actually exempt from the maintenance and removal requirement because it's for internal use only. So it's not a typical telecommunication tower where you have co-location for public use. So the request before you is to allow us to release that bond back to them so they can move forward with the rest of their approval process.
I'll move to authorize the complete release of performance bond number K404-92549 with Federal Insurance Company, White House Station, New Jersey, in the amount of $200,000 for the maintenance of the removal bond for Sleepy Hollow telecommunications tower, PC file 22-1-SP.
I'll second that. That's curious. I mean, I understand that, now that it's a private. kind of
It's
thing.
the first one we've had like this, so
Yeah.
some research for it.
Is there more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Maybe after this one.
Yes.
For the last time. Your future endeavors, and thank you for your service. to the
Well, it's not
family.
December 31st, something.
No,
like
that's true.
Yeah, I know.
He's saying it's just. Exactly. Very good system. Thank you. Right.
Nathan, is there anything you can do in open session?
I was going to address some issues related to solar with Mr. Borbaugh, but we determined to put it off, and so I'll probably bring it up. I think that's good.
Next item is item number 9. Was there any applicants? I don't really see any.
That's the Charlestown Utility Board.
Yeah.
What was, I thought Claire was, you were checking to see if Claire was, I thought.
I looked at the statute to determine whether or not that Commissioner Ath would be eligible. And there are 3 criteria. I don't know how she fits in the 3 criteria, but I'm just saying I see no reason in the language of the ordinance that she could apply.
Yeah.
It seems like she would be.
When I had gone to training last week, I wouldn't be able to.
You would not be able to.
I thought you could. I mean, in our, maybe not because of the commission.
Yeah.
Okay, but because under the ordinance. But
We have advertised for this and not had any applicants. Is that what you're saying too? I mean, except for exploring whether Claire could do it. Sir.
well, the question that I was asked to determine was under Article 147, is there a prohibition?
Oh.
And there is no prohibition under Article 147. There may be a prohibition under county commission rules from the state. I did not research that issue.
I have a question specific to this, and you might, any of you might know it, but I know you have to be a ratepayer, correct? Do you have to be in the Charlestown district or just a ratepayer from CETA? That pays to CETA.
No, I
might
think
have to
you
be
just
in-
be ratepayer.
Do you have to be in the older district, is what I'm thinking.
In the do you have to be in the Charlestown district or
Or the
Ranson or
former
whatever the-
PSD district?
It's, I think it was the
Is that what
old,
you're saying?
I think it was the old PSD district, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's what's unclear when, like, just being a ratepayer is not.
Yeah.
So,
I think you're right. It's got to be the former PSD ratepayers.
And that's also, that's areas in Charlestown and
Ransom.
Ranson and the county.
Yeah.
Because Norborn Glebe, correct me if I'm wrong, that's in Charlestown, but that's under, that was formerly PSD.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Okay, I was just trying to clarify the boundaries of who could actually.
Yeah, Commissioner Jackson, in response to your question, there are 3 parameters in Article 147 for the director position. And one is a resident of Jefferson County. 2, a customer of the CETA that's served by the assets of the former public service.
Yeah. Okay.
And then 3 is a customer of the CETA paying the same prevailing sewer rate charged to the customers of the former PSD. Those are the 3 criteria for the director slot.
Should we, does anyone know when we last advertised it and if we should re-advertise it? But it's very hard to do, for someone to understand, sort through all those requirements too, to know if they qualify.
Well, yeah, and I don't want to go ask anybody in
Right,
the
right.
district to apply.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think we keep advertising until we
Yeah.
find someone. We just might have to do that point of clarity on whether they're eligible based on
And then there's also a liaison position.
PS.
So we got the director position and the liaison position.
That's right.
And the liaison has like 3 criteria to,
Not to complicate
we'll
matters.
just put them in the.
Well, I think what we're gonna do, what we're gonna do is prior to the first meeting in January, we're gonna send out what all the boards are and the requirements. And so because you guys have to figure out who's gonna liaison on which board. So we're gonna send you out a little cheat sheet beforehand, so you're ready to look at that and all might make your decision a little bit easier. So you have some time to think things over before, but we'll put the stipulations and requirements, we'll attach it to that.
Yeah, but there's actually 2 positions with CETA, right? There's one that's a director and one is a liaison.
Yep.
Yes.
So it's confusing.
I get to sit there and listen to the meetings.
Yeah.
Well, and I believe, so when it says director, that's just a citizen appointed.
That would be
The
like
ratepay,
Ms.
right? Like
Mill
not-
Iron, sir,
Yeah.
right? And she
Yeah.
can vote.
A
Now,
voting member.
liaison cannot.
Just when you're saying, when we
I
say director too,
think
it's
of
like.
it, but it's what they
oh,
call their board.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
All right, next we can move to agenda item number 10. I'll put this on there. I just had a question of why these invoices would have a hold on them. It's been over a month since I was made aware of it.
So I have an actual statement I will read regarding Ms. McDonald's invoice, which her invoice was submitted in early October. It included an action to assist a former employee with files. I placed the invoice on hold with a request for more detail and clarification as to what files the former employee needed assistance with. As a point of reference, Ms. McDonald was retained as a consultant in April, shortly after announcing her retirement, mainly to assist the commission office with day-to-day tasks until the commission office was fully staffed. I have stated on many occasions, any disbursement of taxpayer funds must be transparent. I believe the item submitted was lacking detail. I do believe it's my obligation as a representative and someone that has the authority to approve those invoices to ask for the details and regarding disbursement of those funds. Further, there was a question of whether or not it was necessary to pay a consultant to help with files when we had staff already on payroll. I did request additional details. That went unanswered until November 7th. Mr. Nissel provided an email indicating that the work was to review and scan paper files to a shared drive. Again, it was unclear. I was not provided copies of the files or any additional detail, what the shared drive is or anything of that nature. I received Mr. Nissel's email on the 7th, which was well after a month of asking for those details. And that was after I was made aware of an attempt to circumvent the hold and not provide those details. I pressed Mr. Nissel for more details as to what files, that's all I was requesting, and to put that information directly in the Tyler system. I do believe is an issue of transparency. I did place it on hold, but as everyone seems to be aware, a complaint was filed against the county commission by a former employee. While the request for what files was simple and straightforward, I did raise this issue to the county appointed legal counsel for this case. And I disclosed why I put the invoice on hold. And at this point, I have not received any further guidance from another attorney, and that's why it remains on hold. When I get guidance from the attorney, I'll be glad to release it or do whatever with the hold or take some sort of action. But at this point, I feel that I can't do any action without that guidance of counsel.
There's one thing you didn't address. Was the funds appropriated?
I do not know.
Did we agree to the contract? Then the funds were appropriated.
Well,
You can't override the commission by yourself.
I'm not overriding the commission.
You literally just described how you are.
No.
If this body appropriated the funds, you as an individual cannot say no.
So just to be clear in the contract as well, that the terms of the contract was for properly onboarding or 90 days from the execution of the agreement, which was in April. Unless there was a resolution adopted by the majority of the commission to extend that. So that's the contract that was signed by you on April 12th.
You just told me how the funds were appropriated.
I just pulled the contract when I
Yes, that was
raised the
agreeing
issue.
to pay her. Did she earn the wages or not?
I am not releasing those funds without legal counsel.
Well,
I'm not taking action on that without legal counsel.
You're opening the county up to a lot of liability. And having a background in HR, I would expect you to know that.
I certainly think we're in breach of contract as well too. This body did approve the contract to bring Ms. McDonald back, and withholding funds is not something I'm very happy to see that we're doing. I do have a question for our legal. This is for Nathan. Mrs. McDonald is a known potential witness in a lawsuit against Commissioner Jackson and the county. By failing to pay this, are we engaging in witness retaliation or intimidation?
That would certainly be an issue that would have to be hashed out in court. And I think if that would probably turn on the intent of the withholding of the funds, you know what I mean? And I don't know the answer to that question because I don't know anyone's intent.
Okay.
I, to my knowledge, was not asked to opine on this, but was it a different legal counsel than me?
It is the legal counsel that's representing the county that was appointed.
But not, it was
Not
in
me.
our office. Okay, I just
Correct.
wanted to clarify.
Which I'm fully disclosing that I discussed this with that attorney, and that's where I am. I just had a discussion last week and asked for guidance, and I was told
Well, that's fine. You know, I'm not questioning that. I'm just saying I was thinking not. But that's,
Is Bailey Wyatt our counsel or stuff like that, or?
Well, that's who was assigned to the county related, that I consulted with on this, yes.
Why for this?
Not this, I'm just consulting about the lawsuit against the county, and I raised this issue to,
Can he give you counsel on that? I mean, I guess he did, but should he be?
I guess that would be a question for him. I just disclosed it to him and asked for guidance, and I haven't taken action because I haven't had the guidance.
Probably because you asked the wrong lawyer, in my opinion, but. So what's the will of the commission?
We have a contract with Ms. McDonald, and we are clearly in breach of contract. I think we need to pay her. I mean, it's pretty simple. If we have a contract with somebody, we need to pay them. And I mean, I think this is a personal conflict with two parties here, and it should not be. I mean, we run a professional office here, and we need to keep it professional. So I move to approve the payment to Sadie McDonald for $1,120 to be paid immediately.
Second.
So moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion?
I will raise the issue since you did, that you also have access to the system to approve these invoices, and I take care of that week after week, you do not. So I'm just saying there's an alternative solution. I, in my capacity, and I, in the situation that I'm in, I felt compelled to raise this to legal counsel.
Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. What about the second invoice?
Yeah.
I have no idea about the furniture.
So I placed these three invoices on hold. One is for a love seat for a total of $2,000. The other is for an office chair for a prior employee that's no longer here, and then 2 task chairs. I just think $4,000 is excessive for office furniture at this time.
But that's also the wrong question. Was the money appropriated and did the proper authority purchase them? Did they go over budget?
I have no idea. I haven't seen a budget summary or form or anything of any
Well, it
nature.
should probably be office supplies.
Well, this would be, I mean, a PO would be appropriate. I just in good conscience, as a representative of the taxpayer, could not spend $2,000 on a love seat or anything else of that nature.
And I understand going with your conscience, but that doesn't address the legal questions. Was the money appropriated? Did the proper authority purchase them? And did they go over budget?
I do not have the details of that.
Then it shouldn't be on hold. You should be asking questions. We're over a month overdue on this.
We all did vote and approve our budget, and this was clearly in our budget. You know, to nitpick how we spend the money is another issue, but it is in the budget. I did check, and we did not go over budget. And we all voted on the budget. So we can't sit here and vote on the budget and then not vote when somebody spends some money on something, say we can't approve the invoice. Again, that's just very unprofessional of a vendor that this body has been using for many, many years. And I mean, here, this is a small business we're talking about. This is a small business that the county has a relationship with. And here we are holding money. I mean, this money could have been used for somebody's Christmas bonus to purchase gifts for the children. I mean, look, I mean, I don't know why we're going, I mean, what do you have against small businesses? That's what I want to know.
I don't have anything against small businesses. I just committed to be a good steward of taxpayer money, and I see this as wasteful spending.
Then that needs to be addressed in the budget session in February, not just arbitrarily approving this and not approving that. I'll move again to that we pay this amount of $4,400 was $55 and 11 cents and 51 cents to Miller Supplies immediately.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Is there anything else coming for the commission this evening?
Would like to introduce you to Krista Davis, our new finance director. If you've got a chance to meet her, but she's off and running and doing a fabulous job getting into the Tyler system. So welcome aboard. Krista.
Thank you. I look forward to working with all of you. My door is always open.
Well, I just want to say thank you, Krista, for joining the staff. And I also would like to apologize for how the commission's kind of been conducting itself recently. And I hope that in the new year, we could turn over a new leaf and work together more. I think that we should be bringing people into the county, see a better place to work and a better place to live. Look forward to having you.
Thank you. That sounds amazing. Good plan.
And thank you on your last meeting. Good luck with your new endeavors.
Thank you. If there's nothing else for the commission this evening and there's no objection, we're adjourned.